Hanson.
Hey, please don't touch me.
Just looking.
Yeah, so you like when people get assaulted, huh? You like when people get assaulted? You laugh about it?
No, sir. There's no one left about it at all.
I don't appreciate being touched around here. I didn't touch y'all, and I didn't engage.
What's your name, sir?
Does it matter what my name is? There's no probable cause here for you to ask my name.
It's a polite conversation, though.
Yeah, my name is Mike Hanson. I'll give you a card even, but I don't appreciate one of your officers. Are you a sergeant?
No.
I'd appreciate a sergeant looking into him coming up, touching me like he did. Would you? Oh, I love that black ski mask. I love that move. Do you like that move? Yeah. Trying to block me getting the black ski mask. Oh, I love this move. I love this move. I love this move. Please get out of my space. Please get out of my space. I love this move. I hope y'all are paying attention here.
I'm just walking.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll bump into me and try to arrest me for bumping into him.
Anything. I'm just walking.
Yeah, he's getting real close, gang. Real close. Real close.
Get a good smile.
Real close. Oh, you like that intimidation, huh?
I don't think I'm doing anything to intimidate you.
Oh, really? You're up against me with a black uniform. That's not intimidation. Right up against me.
Yeah.
Where's your sergeant at? I'd like to talk to your sergeant.
I suggest that you go find them.
Y'all come over here a little closer and make sure y'all are good witnesses. Y'all don't intimidate me at all. Y'all like... And Mike got his camera on and got part of it. We'll air that tomorrow. And I got a bunch of footage where they bump a lady with a horse and then charge her with assault. I'm not saying the police are bad, but the federal training, the mindset is bad. There was never a need for any of this. But as America degenerates, as the population becomes more decadent, there will be more problems as a pretext for all of this. Let me go ahead and go into the news now. I want to remind the listeners that the websites are Infowars.com, Infowars.net, and PrisonPlanet.com. We also have JonesReport.com and VirginUtah.com. Now, I'm trying to figure out where I should begin, where I should start. Mike, get that VHS tape ready where Mr. Abrams talks about how wonderful torture is for children. Yeah, well, I had it queued up to a spot where I saw some stuff, so just put it in there and put it on pause. I get up here tonight and I go, Mike, did you hear? I got all these news articles where they say torture for children is good to get their parents to talk. You can go read ABC News story. It's at the very end of the article, of this article from last night about torturing people's children now. See, if they want to really change your psychological makeup, they won't just say we're going to torture the suspected terrorist. We'll go to that in a second. They say, oh, we'll put pressure on their kids or put a gun to their head or threaten them or tell the parents we're going to give them to somebody bad, to somebody who isn't of their faith, which is a horrible thing to do to a Muslim or anybody for that matter. So they do something even worse than saying, 6 months ago it was torture's good. We covered all that. And they have been torturing them. Our government trains more countries than anybody else in torture. Fort Benning, Georgia, School of the Americas. Now, they say, well, we don't need to torture children. And I came in. Mike says this is 10 minutes long, and I popped it in, heard a couple statements about putting guns to kids' heads, and fast-forwarded and some comment about threatening children. Tomorrow, I'm going to air the whole thing. From 4:30 to 6, I'll have more time This is just an hour show to play more of these clips. But let's just play a few minutes of this, and then I'll go into this and talk about how truly sick this is. And if you don't know how sick this is, if this doesn't upset you, and if somehow you think this is okay, then they've really got you, and you've got some serious problems. I mean, you were a psychopath and didn't know it. Let's go ahead and go to this tape.
Cop with a bad cop approach. Jamie Fellner joins us, U.S. Program Director for Human Rights Watch. Fellner, would you have a problem with that? Look, both of our guests are saying it's almost absurd to suggest that they're going to bring the kids in with guns to their head and threaten them in that way. But what about the idea of reminding him that his kids are in custody and leaving open the possibility that who knows what's going to happen to them if he doesn't start sharing information?
Well, I think it's a...
For a sec. Mike, this is doublethink. Now, Mr. Blair was his real name, but George Orwell had worked for the Empire as a British secret police officer and as a communist. Frontline troop and political officer, and then with the BBC. And he wrote in essays that he thought this was a real world that was coming. So did Aldous Huxley. In 1962 at Berkeley, right before he died, he gave a speech saying, my brother works for the UN, this is the plan. And I've aired that on my radio show, and it's on the Berkeley website. How did they know all this? Well, I've read Psychological Warfare Declassified stuff. It's 40 years old. And it says, you announce that you're against something and then say, well, we're against torture, but torture's good and we're doing it. And it's a double-think mechanism. Well, both our guests are saying it's absurd to torture. The guests were just saying the torture was okay in the minutes before that. We'll air it all tomorrow. Then they come in and say, but hey, let's remind them something could happen to your kids. And then they describe the torture. The CIA section chief in the Washington Post last year, and I've brought this article here 15 times. It's in The Road to Tyranny. It's in the Masters of Terror, the news articles in both my films. They're on my website. Just type time for torture, torture is good into a website, and all hundreds of news articles pop up with the left and right. Oh, torture's so good now. It's such a virtue. They had an article that's called The Virtues of Torture in Newsweek. And we talked about rubber hoses, electric prods, pliers, and said yes. And then I've heard talk show hosts, it is time to torture them. We saw what happened to America. We